So this is second part of the video for the topic managerial economics. Now in this part of the video we are going to cover some important topics like what is utility. We will understand managerial marginal utility, understand total utility. We will be understanding average utility, what is the relationship between total utility, marginal utility and average utility. Then we will see what is diminishing marginal utility, assumptions and limitations of law of diminishing marginal utility, law of equi-marginal utility. So let us see them one by one. First we will come to know what is utility. It is defined as the power of a commodity that can satisfy a want. It is subjective in nature and depends on the mindset of the customer. Utility does not mean usefulness. Rather, it is the actual satisfaction derived from the commodity or from the services. Only the actual consumer can show the utility. Utility can vary at different time periods. A commodity may not give same utility to same customer at different times. Based on the utility of a commodity or a goods or a services, an individual decides whether to purchase the commodity or not. So utility purely depends on the consumption of the commodity. Utility has following two important components. One is product utility. It satisfies the requirements of a consumer. Second is consumer's utility. It is psychological feeling of pleasure by a consumer from consumption of the commodity. That is, it is a post-consumption phenomenon. Now let us see what is marginal utility, that is MU. It may be defined as the addition of an extra utility to the total utility resulting from the consumption of one additional unit. This utility derived from last unit consumed can be measured by change in total utility, that is delta change. It is proposed by Alfred Marshall. Suppose marginal unit is nth unit, then we can calculate marginal utility by the given formula. MUN is equal to TUN minus TUN minus 1 is equal to change in, that is delta change in TUN divided by delta change in QN, where MUN is marginal utility for nth unit, delta TUN is change in total utility after consumption of one unit, and TUN is change in total utility. This formula says that if a consumer is consuming n units of any commodity or goods, then marginal utility after consumption of nth unit is equal to total utility after consumption of n units minus total utility just before consumption of nth unit of the commodity, which further equals to delta change, that is smallest change in total utility after consumption of nth unit divided by delta change in quantity of commodity after adding nth unit. Now let us see what is total utility and how can it be calculated. It is the summation of the utilities derived by a consumer after consumptions of various units of a good at a point of time or over a period of time. Now let's see this formula. TUN is equal to MU M1 plus MU2 plus MU3 and so on up to MUN, which is further equal to sigma MU, means summation of all the marginal utilities. Here TU is total utility for all the n units and MU is marginal utility of after consumption of each single units. This formula says that the total utility after consumption of n number of goods is sum of all the marginal utilities derived from consumption of each and every unit of the goods, starting from first unit of the goods to the nth number of goods or the commodity. Now let us see what is average utility. Average utility is obtained by dividing total utility derived by all the numbers of units of the commodity by total number of units of commodity. So, any change in average utility is generally smaller than change in marginal utility. This is because the additional change caused by mu to tu is averaged out or spread over all the other units. AU is equal to tu by q is the formula to calculate the average unit, as we calculate average of any other number in mass. Similarly, here also we will calculate average utility. First we will sum up all the utilities, that is we will calculate total utility tu, and then we will divide the number of units of commodity q. We will get average utility. Now let us see relationship between total utility tu, marginal utility mu, and average utility eu. Initially, total utility increases with consumption of more units of goods and has positive slope. Total utility rises with increasing rate of consumption. However, after certain level, the rate of increase in total utility falls and thus total utility rises with falling rates. After reaching its maximum, total utility starts declining. We can see this in this given figure. Now from this diagram we can conclude that when mu is increasing, tu is increasing at an increasing rate. When mu decreases, tu increases but at a decreasing rate. When mu is 0, this position, tu is maximum, that is 4 units in this figure. This point is called point of safety. When mu is negative, tu begins to fall. Next we will see law of diminishing marginal utility. It is also called Gauss's first law, proposed by Hermann Hendrik in 1854. It states that the marginal utility of a goods diminishes as an individual consumes more and more units of the goods. The extra utility or satisfaction that he derives from an extra unit consumed goes on falling. The law states that the utility which a consumer derives from the consumption of each additional unit of a commodity keeps decreasing with every increase in the stock of the commodity. It is only the mu, that is marginal utility, that declines and not the total utility, that is tu, that is increasing but at a decreasing rate. So, explanation of law of diminishing marginal utility. Suppose an individual consumes more and more units of a goods, then the intensity of his want for goods goes on falling, and a point reaches where the individual no longer wants any more quantity of the goods. That is when saturation point is reached. Marginal utility mu of the goods becomes 0, and after that it can be negative also. Secondly, the different goods are not perfect substitute for each other. It is consumed for satisfaction of only one specific want. Now here money is an exception. Marginal utility of money is never 0 or negative, as since it can be used for various uses and for different wants. Law of diminishing marginal utility is one important cause for the demand curve to slope down. So, assumptions of law of diminishing marginal utility. Units of the commodity should be consumed continuously in succession at one particular time. There should not be any change in the tastes, fashions, lifestyles, customs of the consumer. Also, the mental state should be the same. These are assumptions which we have to consider while we are going through law of diminishing marginal utility. So, the third assumption is that the consumer is rational, that is logical in decisions. Fourth is all units of commodity should be homogeneous in features. Next, the consumption process is continuous and the prices of all units of commodity and their substitutes should remain the same. Now, let's see what are the limitations of this law of diminishing marginal utility. It is not applicable on goods that satisfy different wants, because after consuming few units for satisfying a want, the consumer can still consume more units for his different want, and so the marginal utility does not fall. It does not apply for rare collection of any goods, as utility increases when more and more units are collected. The law does not hold true when there is a change in the availability of complementary and substitute goods. Now, let's see the next law, that is law of equi-marginal utility. This law is also known as law of substitutions, law of maximum satisfaction, and Gaussian's second law. Law of equi-marginal utility explains the consumer's equilibrium. A consumer has a given income which he has to spend on various goods he wants. How he allocates his money between various goods and what would be his equilibrium position in respect of the purchases of various goods. The law of equi-marginal utility depends on the marginal utility of goods and the price of the goods. These two factors decides behavior of a consumer. This Gaussian's second law of substitution states that the consumer will spend his money on different goods in such a way that the marginal utility of each good is proportional to its price. That is, if consumer has two goods, goods X and goods Y to consume, it will be in equilibrium when MUX divided by PX is equal to MUY divided by PY is equal to MUM. MUX is marginal utility of goods X, PX is the price of goods X, MUY is marginal utility of goods Y, PY is price of goods Y, MUM is marginal utility of money, that is last rupee spent on consumption. Now, this formula says that if product X is costlier than product Y, then consumer will purchase less units of the product X. Even then, the product X will give more satisfaction per unit consumption. While if product Y is cheaper, then consumer will purchase more units of the product Y. And in comparison to costlier product, it will give less satisfaction with per unit consumption. But overall, with complete consumption of both the product X and Y, the marginal utility of money will be same for both the products. Also, if suppose MUX by PX is not equal to but is greater than MUY by PY, then the consumer will substitute goods X for goods Y. As a result, marginal utility of X will fall and marginal utility of Y will rise. Thus, it is seen that utility is the satisfaction derived. However, it is significant to learn how utility is measured. Utility can be described under two different schools of thoughts, the cardinal utility and the ordinal utility, which we will learn in our next video. Till then, goodbye. Have a nice day.